I was faced with so many challenges, mentally, especially emotionally, and physically as well. At first, it's different phases. I believe depression, anxiety, and overthinking, they have different stages. I thought it was normal to endure. I thought it was normal for me to struggle and to continue fighting mental battles in my head. Been going through this for maybe perhaps 3 to 4 years. Eventually, on the sixth or seventh year, you get tired as an individual. You realize that no, there is something wrong with me, but you don't know what it is.
Hi everyone, welcome to Prudent Life. This is your host, Marie. We are back again. We are here to learn, to be inspired, and to grow together. I have Maybe with me. Maybe she's a founder of an organization of that focuses on a mental well-being of a person. I would give her the opportunity to introduce herself and as well as her organization and what they do. Maybe thank you so much for accepting our invitation. May you kindly introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you. My name is Mabby Sanandra. I am the founder for Reach Out We Care Foundation, a foundation that aims to break the stigma and misunderstanding surrounding mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Our foundation was recently started this year, April, where I am partnering with two other founders, which are the co-founders of the foundation, and we have recently completed our workshop, our mental health workshop, where we have spoken about different types of mental health impacts and challenges that are faced within the society. But then the foundation doesn't just aim to break the stigma and the misunderstanding surrounding mental health. It aims to give back and assist those that are facing mental health related challenges and setbacks. Because from personal challenges with mental health, I had to realize that it's not just me that's going through these things. There are other people within the society and within the community that are faced with these challenges and they struggle. They do not know who to go to, they do not know how to solve it, and then at the end of the day, it results in suicide, which is what we are aiming against or we are advocating against. We're advocating kindly against suicide because the suicide cases in the country have risen and it's not really good. Families are left torn, families are left heartbroken, families are left questioning where did they go wrong with raising their children or their fellow members. And that is a little bit about the foundation. Thank you.
All right. What is mental wellness?
What is mental wellness? Okay, in my personal understanding, what is mental wellness? It's the ability for you to be able to cope and survive with your daily routines. So mental wellness is being well. It's being well in a sense of you're able to focus on certain things that you want to do within a certain time period. Perhaps you'll go to work. So being mentally well means that you're able to carry out your tasks well without being overwhelmed, without being challenged, without facing difficulties when you're carrying out your task. You're able to do it open mindedly, you're able to do it at your maximum, optimum ability without facing any stagnation points or without facing any hindering effects. Because a lot of us, we claim to be mentally well, but when we are faced with challenges or setbacks or things that are hindering our daily routine, we tend to struggle in handling it. We tend to fall back from things that we usually do on a daily basis, such as going to work, such as attending classes, such as interactions. So in a nutshell, what is wellness? Mental wellness is basically the ability to you to carry out your tasks well, the ability for you to have an open mind that is not congested or confined with a lot of thoughts, a lot of disturbances as you carry out your day-to-day living.
All right. Um, all right. So basically you're saying that mental wellness, it's you being able to function at your best ability without any
Yes,
hindrance.
yes, yes.
All right. Um, Thinking about your organization, right? what inspired you to be
Yes.
to start this organization? I think you said a little bit about it in your introduction, but can you maybe give us a little bit on like a little bit of a background, or even if you're not gonna go into details of what really made you want to start this reach out organization?
The Richard We Care Foundation has been an idea that I've had since I was 17. So I wanted to start it when I was 17 because of the personal mental health challenges I faced. As a teenager, I didn't go through an easy teenagehood. I was faced with so many challenges, mentally, especially emotionally, and physically as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
I was the firstborn, I had to be the experiment kid, where everything that I was faced with or given, I had to do it at my best of ability. So then came a window where I didn't do so well academically. I didn't do so well as a sibling. I didn't do so well as a friend. So then I started to experience mental health challenges that really brought down a lot of aspects in my life, from everything that I've mentioned previously to my social interactions and friendships. So So they were
Okay, nice,
open,
maybe.
surrounding me were open about the mental health challenges they faced. So some told me they were depressed, some told me they had anxiety, and some told me that they were going through challenges like at school, at work. And that's when I realized that from my own personal challenges that I faced, from my family related challenges that they faced, as well as from friends that were open about what they were challenged in facing, I realized that for so long we've been just focusing on things like no period poverty, dignity. We've been so focused on literally poverty within the communities and societies, omitting that what does this lackings lead to, which is mental health related challenges and issues. Depression. How are people tackling depression within the society? Overthinking. How are people tackling overthinking within the society? How are people tackling anxiety as well as stress and overwhelmment within the society? And that's when I realized that I don't want to own a foundation that just aims to always solve temporary problems. I realized that a foundation that needs to tackle mental, emotional, and physical well being is definitely needed within the society and the community. So then, the reason why I really established the Reach Out BK Foundation is because I saw the cry and the need for a foundation that really addresses these issues within the society. Because a lot of us we hold childhood trauma, teenage trauma that has turned us into people that we were normally not. Some of us were children that were very joyous and happy, but as we grew up, we became very sour and cold. Why? It's because we hold on to things that have hurt us in the past. We hold on to burdens, we hold on to struggles, as well as we were not treated fairly within society and the community. Our very own parents didn't raise us well. Our very own siblings were not there for us. Our very own siblings stand against us, as well as our own friendships were betrayal related friendships. So I realized that a lot of people go through different things on a daily basis. Some can be going through heartbreak, some can be going through depression, some can be going through denial, and some can be going through betrayal. And a lot of us are going through things, and everyone, I had to do my research so well to the point where I realized that everyone is going through something. It's just that we have a different story to convey and a different story from mine. And that's when I realized that enough is enough. The cases are rising, suicide cases are rising. My own peers are taking their lives, number one. And number two, family dynamics. Families are torn and divided because of whatever they claim is societal differences. We are in different community and societies, yes, but as we grow older, we turn against ourselves and we turn against our families. And a lot of this brings such a division that I don't understand why we focus so much on bringing a community together, but we bring a community together that is broken, a community together that is stigmatizing, a community together that is misunderstanding a lot of things around mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And that was my drive to restore a platform where mental, emotional, and physical well-being is understood. Mental, emotional, and physical well-being is heard. People that have mentally gone through challenges and setbacks are not relapsing anymore back to the dark times and moments they went through. People that are emotionally unintelligent are able to gain emotional intelligence. People that were physically challenged, whether it's probably you failed to accept your physical appearance, probably you changed your physical appearance, probably you're not satisfied with the way you look on the outer. Probably you're not happy with your personality on the inner. So that's the foundation that I established, a foundation that aims to break the barriers and the boundaries that are set around those three components. Thank you.
All right, and how do you practically help people's mental wellness? And before you answer that, the first question is, can one experience mental challenges without knowing? Like, can your mind be, yeah, basically, can you experience what do you call like depression or anxiety? I don't want to say those two words,
Mm-hmm.
but I just want to say, can you all like use, can you be overthinking, or can your mind be at a stage where it's unhealthy without knowing? Is that possible?
Is that possible? Okay. Well, yes. I would say that's very possible because at first it's different phases. I believe depression, anxiety, and overthinking, they have different stages. It gets to the point where, as much as the professionals, they state that you can only know when you're educated, right? So, for me personally, I would just say, from a younger age, I didn't know that mental health issues were a thing. Constant sadness, I experienced constant sadness. A time period where I was just constantly sad to the point where it became depression. And I didn't know it was depression because I thought it was normal to go through these challenges and these problems. I thought it was normal to endure. I thought it was normal for me to struggle and to continue fighting mental battles in my head. I thought it was normal for me to continuously be exposed to a certain problem and to keep facing the same hurt over and over again. Until I realized that it was getting out of hand when it got to the point where I was tired. And a lot of people, they don't realize that we can endure, we can withstand, as well as we can understand that no, this is normal. We normalize mental health issues. That's the thing, the society we live in. We are normalizing that no, as a person you are supposed to go through problems. As a person you are supposed to face challenges. But normalizing mental health issues is not good because at some point in your life you've been going through this for maybe perhaps 3 to 4 years. Eventually on the 6 or 7 year you get tired as an individual. You realize that no, there is something wrong with me, but you don't know what it is. You just have to realize that no, there is something wrong with me. You don't know what it is until you are faced with a position where you become suicidal. You are faced with a position where you change your entire personality and character. You are usually known as this type of person, but then you turn into this type of person without you even knowing. And then a lot of times, how I found out that I was going through mental health challenges is when people started to ask me, no, maybe your appearance, you never used to look like this. You usually don't talk like this. What is going on? And then that's when I started opening up and telling people that no, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm facing. And then they educated me that no, they empowered and educated me and made me realize that no, that is depression. You are constantly sad, you're constantly demotivated, you constantly lack energy, you're constantly so prone to not caring and not worrying about what's happening in your surrounding anymore. So I believe a lot of us were faced with the challenge of not knowing that we're going through mental health issues and challenges until physically we start to see our appearances changing, our personalities diverting, and our characters changing. And then we get diagnosed by other people, or better yet, people around us start to recognize and educate us that no, this is not who you are, this is probably what you're going through. And to answer your second question, how does the foundation help those that are facing mental health related challenges? So we have professionals on board. We have social workers, we have psychologists as well as counselors, which we refer to if our peer groups, such as our life support groups. We have life support groups where we are grouping teenagers to support schools, where they probably support life skills teachers. Let me just say that. We group teenagers that are supporting the life skills teachers in handling life-related issues and challenges within the high schools, as well as we are planning, well, currently in motion, with setting up as well as support groups within university level, as well as we have a general support group that we, the founders, have come up with that is open to the society and to the community. So we have professionals that have come on board that assisting, as well as us, the co-founders, have taken courses, counseling courses, have taken different courses that are enabling us to counsel, to coach, as well as to assist these people, and referrals as well. We also do referrals. If a challenge that we cannot handle on our own, we do refer them to the best. We also have brought on board a psychiatrist recently that was working with us as well. She's open. She's at the mental health facility at Windhoek Central. She is also assisting us, and she said that at any time we need assistance, we can definitely just knock at her door. We also refer people to the Windhoek Central, the mental health section, where they get assistance if it's beyond our control.
Okay. Can someone overcome mental challenges without having a psychologist or speaking to someone else just on their own? And how is that process?
Okay, so can someone overcome mental health related challenges and setbacks without
Mm,
seeing a professional as well as opening up to a counselor, perhaps? Well,
mm,
as someone who started off like that, it's at first it's not easy because self-diagnosing is very difficult. You cannot really self-diagnose yourself, but you do know yourself. You know that there's something off, and you know that there's something that is disturbing you, right? And a lot of us, we tend to do things out of our comfort zones. Like some of us have implemented hobbies. And I believe that someone who is hobby oriented is someone who doesn't really experience a lot of mental health related challenges, because this person is more, they said they've oriented their mindset on hobbies. Let's say perhaps the person's an athlete, they do athletics, they run. So they are casually runners, they run, and maybe
mm,
weekendly they run. And that's what they use as a coping mechanism. Let's say running is the coping mechanism. So I
mm.
believe someone who has a sufficient coping mechanism is able to be less prone to mental health related challenges and setbacks.
So you're saying that some people
Okay.
they choose their hobby as coping mechanism. That does that help? Or do they just cope with it and then it's still there?
Okay. For some people, it's they use their coping mechanisms to forget what they are going through, but
Mm,
that doesn't mean that it's something that will disappear. Mental health challenges are not just challenges that today you face it, tomorrow it's gone. It's some repeat time processing that you need to continue working on it until it's not completely faded, but until you've reached a point where it's not really affecting you anymore and you've made peace with what you've gone through and you are better off, even though we call it the healing window, a window where you are given to heal, to accept, to acknowledge whatever you've gone through.
mm. All right. With that, do you have any last word that that you want to share with us before we let you go?
Okay, any last words that I would like to share is mental health is not a disease. It's not and the ending game. It's not something that you should stigmatize and misunderstand. A lot of us have gone through different mental health challenges, issues, and challenges. A lot of us have faced problems that we've gone through. Probably some of us have childhood trauma, probably some of us have teenagehood trauma. But with the help of professionals, with foundations and organizations that were there for us, we were able to overcome these issues. We were able to bypass these issues. And even though healing is a process that we're going through daily, we keep learning that healing is a daily process. Healing is not something that can just happen over 1 minute, over 1 month, over 2 months. It takes a process for us to heal. And Richard Becare Foundation is a foundation that will establish that foundation where a lot of us can come and get assistance, a lot of us can be empowered, can be educated, as well as can seek help when we need help. Thank you.
All right. So with that, it means that basically, for someone to get at a mental health stage or at a level where they can they can um they can maintain their mind capacity, they need to have compassion towards themselves and they need to be patient.
Yes.
Since you say it's not an overnight what
Thing, yes.
an overnight practice.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we really appreciate your time and thank you so much for taking your time to be with us and for teaching
Thank you
us
so much for
about
having me.
mental wellness. Um, how can one connect to this with God, with who God is? Do we fully depend on the psychologist, on all the other okay, wait, 4 minutes. All the other external help. Can we trust God to lead us in getting well mentally, or we can just fully depend on the external help?
Well, I will believe that we all have different rooted systems. We believe in different beliefs. But I would say that including God and asking God for guidance is also very important
Mm-hmm.
because when I grew up in a Christian home, but then I also fell out and then came back. I realized that when I rooted myself back into God, God put the right people in my path to counsel me, to help me, and asking him for guidance really gave me people that were able to coach me, to counsel me, as well as to help me overcome the challenges as well as the mental health dark moments I was facing. So God is really definitely needed for guidance as well as for opening doors that will take you to people that will really help you mentally. And even though sometimes it's a waiting game, some people they are impatient, they don't want to wait for God to open those doors. We we tend to be impatient, but I believe that with God, He can open doors, He can restore, and can give you those opportunities of healing or finding people that will help you along your healing journey and your healing path.
All right. Thank you so much. Have yourself a good one and bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
um, yes, that was maybe from Richard Wike. And thank you so much for watching this far. And see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned a lot. And please do not forget to subscribe and like if you like what you have heard. And also remember to share it with your friends so that a friend can share with another friend who will learn from it. And do comment below with questions if you have any. And we are going to handle it for you.